in 1845, my family came to America, to the Green Bay area. And when we arrived, my father and my older brothers, they went looking all directions for land to buy, but I did not go with them, because you see, I had already gotten my first job in America. An American had asked if we wanted to make hay, and he was offering 6 shillings plus food for the day. But that sounded like a pretty good wage. So with 2 of my friends, we said, yeah. The land was on the other side of the river, so there was no bridge in those days. So a man in a rowboat, he rowed us across the river. One day we worked all day, and then he rowed us back at night. My friends, they had enough of the hard work after the first day, so they did not come back. Yeah, so much of the myth of the hard-working immigrant, right? So we weren't all like that. So for the next 27 days, I worked. It was just me and the Indians. You see, there were more Indians in the Green Bay area than white people at the time. Yeah, so for the next 27 days, I worked with just the Indians. And on the last day, I worked all by myself. You see, the Indians, they were celebrating. A big fat horse had died, and they had pulled off the hide. You don't want to know about that. But they sold it. They got $2.75 for the hide. And that's a lot of money back now. But they used the money to buy whiskey. Whiskey. Yeah, it was 2 shillings to the gallon, so they got 11 gallons of whiskey for that. Yeah, the meat of the horse they chopped up and they boiled it in a big iron kettle until it was done. They put the meat in tin bowls and they poured whiskey on top of that and pepper on top of that. Yeah, they eat the meat with their fingers and then they drank the peppered whiskey. Needless to say, the celebrators, they became quite betrunken. Including the man who was supposed to row me back across the river. So it was getting late, I was starting to get worried, and I was around a bunch of people who were getting a little bit wild, and so I panicked. I ran down to the river looking for a way to get back across, and I found this old canoe. It was about 12 feet long, about 2 feet wide, and had been hollowed out of a log or something like that. And I found a board I could use for a paddle, so I eased down into the water, and I got in the canoe and I set off. I should have checked that canoe out first, because it started to fill up with water. It had a crack in it. This canoe is for Shimon, I said. The canoe sank, and so did I. Well, I thought to myself, here's your grave, Melchior, because I cannot swim. I start walking up like this, splashing kind of forward. Maybe does this look like cement to you? I'm asking because I don't know how to swim. And eventually, I got to the point where I could feel the ground underneath my feet, and I could walk out of the river. Oh, I got down on my knees, and I thanked God. That was my last trip across the river, but I will remember it all of my life.